Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in and watching and coming back. I appreciate it. Hope you're having an awesome day. And I'm playing around in Topaz Studio, and I just created a photo that I thought was kind of really cool. Now, I'm a little biased because it's my photo that I took and my edit that I edited and created. Well, let me just show you the photo. So here we go. I'm in Topaz Studio. This is a photo I took in Prague, and it's over the Charles Bridge. And, it's from one of the towers. Like there's this tower here, and there's another one on the side of the bridge that I'm in. Just looking out over the city. Anyway, pretty typical touristy kind of thing to do, and great view. So I shot it, and I liked the shot, but it was mid-afternoon, late afternoon, or whatever. It wasn't amazing light. It wasn't like an original thing. So long story short, I started playing with it in Topaz Studio, and I just decided, what I kind of want to do is create kind of a vintage postcard sort of look. And so I jacked around with this thing for a while, but here's what I came up with. There you go. Now to me, that's kind of got that vintage postcard look. It kind of looks weathered, almost like it's been wet and dried and crinkled, and it's got this kind of texture running through it that looks almost like it's cracked. So there's a lot of things that I did to this. I thought I'd walk through and just kind of share it because I like the look personally. I think that looks really cool. I'm going to save that as a preset so I can use it on future photos as well. But that's really part of the fun of Topaz Studio to me, is that you can do these kind of things that you may not really come up with on your own. And in fact, using Topaz Studio will often lead me down a path that I didn't really know I was interested in going on. And then I'd end up in a place like this and I would think, wow, that's kind of cool. I really like it. So anyway, let me reset the filters and we'll jump into it. Okay, so here's the base photo, and actually how I got started was using one of their effects. And so you get a whole bunch of effects for free, and what I did is I went into the texture effects and I went into ethereal, and I came down and I saw this one. It kind of caught my eye. It's called Daydreaming. So I clicked on it and it did that to my photo. And if you look on the right hand side, I mean, wow, there's like 6 textures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 textures. No, 8. There's another one at the bottom. I mean, it's insane. So actually some of these are turned off though, or at least one of them is turned off. Anyway, the point is people have created these things and they exist, and you can just go in there and use them. So they do include pro adjustments like texture, but any effect that is in Topaz Studio is yours to use, even if it includes a pro adjustment. The only difference is you cannot make adjustments to the pro adjustment that's in that effect. Does that make sense? So the recipe, or what I like to call a preset, if you click it, if it contains pro adjustments, you can't adjust those. Now you can change the blend mode and the opacity, and I believe you can even do some masking, but you can't go in and adjust the sliders on the pro adjustments. But on all the free adjustments, you can. So anyway, I got there, and then I decided to customize it a little bit more. So let me go. I've actually got 2 copies of this photo. Here's my final. And what I did is, let me just walk through these and kind of show you what I did. So the preset included this basic adjustment, this texture, all these kind of things. And then I got down here and I just said, I like it, but I need to make some further adjustments to it. And so let me just turn off some of these adjustments that I did, and we will get to where I was. So that's where I was. I'm going to hit fit so you can see it better. Okay, so that's where I was coming off of that preset or effect. And then, as I said, I didn't really like the colors. The greens were too green, the oranges were too bright, and it was too bright overall. So I wanted to darken the photo up, crisp it up a little bit, and again, just kind of create that, sort of further enhance that weathered look. It already had textures and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I did is I went into precision contrast. Now, I did a video recently about precision contrast. I'll put that up here. Super powerful filter. Absolutely adore this thing. And so I'm not going to go through that because I'm just kind of sharing some workflow ideas. And the truth is, like, you may not want to repeat this just because it's going to really depend on what the photo is that you're editing. But I went into all 4 different components of contrast: micro, low, medium, and high. Made adjustments there. Took down the midtones and the highlights as well. And I even went over to the colors and took down the vibrance and added some color contrast. So I really like where that got me. And that took me from that, a little too bright, to that. And that's what I was trying to do with contrast. I'm trying to create a greater difference between the darks and the brights, because without precision contrast, to me the photo is kind of flat. I like it, it's cool looking, it's very artistic, kind of flat, too flat for me. So I wanted to amp it up a little bit, and that's where precision contrast came in. I think it did a great job. Next was Hsl Color Tuning. By the way, the precision contrast is a pro adjustment, which means you have to purchase it separately, as is, which one am I on here? I'm sorry, I have so many. Hsl Color Tuning, yeah, so that's right here, Hsl Color Tuning. That is a pro adjustment, which means you also have to purchase that. Now, you can use my name, Jim Nix, as a coupon code to save 15% on any of the pro adjustments, and I'll put a link down below that is an affiliate link, so if you use the link or my coupon code, Jim Nix, then I do make a small commission. It's your cost is the same either way, except for the 15% you save, use my name, but it gives me a small commission, which is a great free way for you to support the work that I do here. Anyway, having said all that, I added Hsl Color Tuning, and you can see that made a big difference. Let me show you one more time. Let me turn it off. That's where I was. Look at the greens and the oranges, so specifically the trees and the rooftops, and much different now, right? So let me show you what I did. I basically went in, and I'll probably do a separate video about Hsl Color Tuning. So I'm just going to go straight to hue, and all this does is it divides all the different colors. What is there, 8 I think different colors, and you can adjust the hue of that color. You can also adjust the saturation or the luminosity, or what they call lightness, which is how bright is that color in the image. So what I did is I took the orange down, because to me I wanted to change the hue, make it a little bit more red. The green hue, as you can see, if you look at the trees, if you remember, they were very green, too green for me, and in fact they kind of ruin the look of an antique postcard when they're that green. I mean, you could sell it, sell it as a, hey, it was colorized, like an old black and white photo from, 50 years ago that became colorized, and they got the greens wrong or whatever, which that's a look and that's cool. But I didn't want to do that. I kind of wanted to go the other way. I kind of wanted the trees to be a little bit more in line with some of the oranges and reds that are prevalent in all the rooftops. And so Hsl Color Tuning and the hue specifically allowed me to change that green hue, which I did there. And I also, there was a lot of purple in the photo, and I took the hue down and changed that. Saturation, I took the blue down, a little too much blue, and I don't know if I did anything. Oh, I did blue as well for lightness or luminosity. So I'm taking the lightness, or the brightness really is a better word, of the blue, and I'm reducing that because I didn't want it to be too blue. Also, let me change this, turn this filter off again. If you look, it's kind of brighter and bluer, and now with it turned off, it's a little bit darker and less blue, and that's helping me create that older kind of look, which is what I wanted to do. Next was brightness and contrast. This is a free filter, right? So that's a free adjustment. It's right there. It comes with Topaz Studio. So let me turn that on and show you what I did. And you can see I get kind of more contrasty here. And that's really all I did, is I just went into contrast and bumped that up to 1.19. So, 19% basically. So about a 20% bump in contrast created, again, a little bit more darkness in the photo. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create some separation between the brighter spots and the darker spots, because there wasn't that much. It was, as I said earlier, it was very flat after I applied the effect, which was my first move for the photo. And the next was 2 more adjustments. Quadtone, which is a pro adjustment, and that's basically 4 different color options that you have. Oops, I turned it on. I didn't move that. So let me show you that. So Quadtone, again, I'm probably going to do a separate video on Quadtone, but basically for the blacks, the shadows, the highlights, and the whites, you go in and you pick a color, and you choose the color, and you apply it to each of those categories in the image individually. And then you pick a strength, right? So you can see the colors that I chose there. Again, kind of going a little bit darker, a little bluer. Again, getting away from some of the greens and the brighter stuff, and just kind of going a little moodier and darker. But I think that had a nice impact on the photo. So there's the before. You can see a little too yellow for me. And the after, a little bit more in the blue tone. Now, I don't want saturated blues, but I wanted a little to me like a weathered gray, because I felt like that went with the theme I was going for, which is kind of the weathered postcard look. And then my last filter here is dual tone. So there we go. And you can see I just warmed it up. And this is Jim bouncing around, kind of saying, hey, I want to go cooler. Hey, I want to go warmer. And so for me, it's what I like to call a delicate dance, where I'm kind of bouncing between sometimes competing adjustments and doing one way and then doing the other, which kind of pulls back from the other. It's a dance. There's not any science to this. It is purely art, and it's purely Jim just trying to figure out what look he's going for. And with dual tone, which is also known as split toning in a lot of other products, you basically choose a color for the highlights, you choose a color for the shadows, and then you adjust accordingly. And so as you can see, I went with a bit warmer look. So there's the before, and there's the after. And really the highlights, which is, let me show you here. I chose kind of a warmer color for the highlights, which is kind of in this yellowy kind of realm. And all that really did is the center of the photo, it brought back a little bit of warmth there, where it was before, it was much cooler, right? And I wanted to pop a little bit of warmth there. So got that turned on, and that was really how I got there. So, you know, a lot of steps, about half of which were all provided for free based on the effects that I chose in that left-hand menu at the beginning, which is over here. And then the rest was me just kind of jacking around, having fun, trying to get creative. And again, that's the fun and the beauty of Topaz Studio. So many cool things you can do. I can literally take images and just get in there and, you know, spin and spin and spin in a good way. I don't mean like I'm going in circles and getting nowhere. I just mean I'm spinning the dials, so to speak, and trying things out and getting creative. And I love it. It's so much fun. So one more time, here's the original daytime shot of Prague, kind of uninspired. I was there. That's the only time I had to be there. So I took the shot because I'm always going to take the shot, because you know what you can do later when you get home? You can put them in Topaz Studio and turn them into a vintage postcard. And so that's what I wanted to do. And I hope you like it. And that's it, my friends. So click, or not click, well, yeah, click actually. Hit like if you like this. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. If you're a Topaz Studio user, I'd love to get some feedback. I'm doing more and more videos on Studio. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And so if you have questions or things you'd like me to address in a future video, I'm open to ideas. And other than that, I'm going to shut up and give you your time back. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, my friends. Thanks for watching. Take care and adios.